fishing. Corey, Whiskash. Ooh, I wonder whether or not Bullet Seed will be able to KO this water ground type or not. Wow, what a surprise! Gyarados, okay, this one actually. Any flying type moves, so I can just go for a Bullet Seed. Okay, I did get a 3-hit, that's nice. There's the Outrage. Even if this crits, I'm fine. I can Bullet Seed again. And a 2-hit will suffice. If I got a 2-hit on the first one, then I would have swapped out. And Kingler. Or I can Bullet Seed. Wow. Ha. This one wasn't shell armor. Even though that wouldn't have mattered here, but still. Just saying, shell armor is much better. I don't know which Ace Trainer this is, so I'm just going to go up with Fortress up front. This is Shannon. Okay. Sure. And now I can bounce. I missed. That is very unfortunate because now I have to swap. I should have swapped into purple in the first place. That's okay. That was a crit. Now I can fly. What? Calcs are wrong. According to here, I should have dealt a... Oh, it's because I don't have the item equipped. Well, luckily, I do survive and I go first, so I can just leech life if I want, or I can swap into something and I can swap into Gamboge if I want, then swap into Denim. Well, no, it's probably just best for me to leech life. Yeah. Oh. I didn't want to swap because it could have used something other than Sludge Bomb, although I think swapping into Gamboge was a fine play. Comes out Gardevoir. Gonna swap into Gamboge. That's really unfortunate that he used Thunderbolts. Swap into Oxley. Here's the play. This should Thunderbolt again. That's fine. Now I Spore. And even with Synchronize, that's fine. It doesn't have Synchronize. Weird. swap into Denim. Oh my god. This might KO because of crits. Holy shit, I don't know. This has a chance of killing. Most likely it won't though. Fuck! Terrible planning on my part. A ton of stuff went wrong in this fight. And I'm still not even out of it. Even if it crits, it's fine. Okay. I've been losing Pokemon recently because I'm not going into fights fully prepared. I'm being complacent, and that's going to really suck because a snowball effect will occur. Now it's going to use Bounce. However, because I'm slower than it, I can just use Bounce. I'm not leveling up my Pokemon too closer to max level. I'm not making different teams. I need to change up my strategy. Call me an ace trainer? Yes. Indeed. This one starts with a Claydol. I know I am at the level cap with Oxley, but I felt like I needed to use it because Bullet Seed will be able to guarantee KO, and this has self-destruct. And I wanted to make sure that it couldn't do so. Next up should be a Charizard. It'll most likely Air Slash, but it's not guaranteed. And remember, Charizard in this generation is Fire Dragon. So I should just be able to swap into Saffron on it and be able to outspeed. There's the Air Slash. Dragon Claw, KOs, Executor. I can survive any one of its moves, so I am going to stay in and go for a Crunch. Oh shit, I don't think I would be able to survive a crit. Oh, but it's Stun Squirt instead. That's fine. Going to Gambosh. Nice, I got lucky on that part. Psychic does twice as much damage. I can pin missile. Psychic, even if it crits, won't kill me. And I miss. Of course. Psychic again. Pin missile hits this time. Good. And this Absol can't do too much damage to me. Even if it sucker punches and it crits, it's not going to KO me. Pin missile. There it is. There's that one down. Final trainer in this route. Should not be too difficult. Togekiss against purple. I should be able to Poison Fang. Then it'll most likely just charge up a Sky Attack. Nope, I used Air Slash, which is fine. It's not going to do too much damage. And once again, I could have survived a crit. And Blissey does have counter, but Fly will be able to OHKO it anyways. It'll just be able to one-shot right through. But we do have to wait, you know, all 289 HP. There it is. Okay. This route was done. The next big thing is going into the Pal Park, but I can wait because there's one other thing that I can do before then. This is the last thing that I can do, is go and do Fuego Ironworks. Notably here, the encounters that I can get are grass encounters of Magnemite, Magmar, or evolutions of them, Magneton, Manectric, and Fortress, but I already have a Fortress. Pokeradar of Weezing. The surf encounters are Shellos and Tentacool. Both of them would be pretty good. And if I want to Rod, I can guarantee a Finneon. If I wait for a Super Rod, then I could get a Shelder. But I feel like that's probably not worth it, because Shell Smasher's not in here. The Honey Tree encounter is lots of stuff. Combee, Fortress, Wormadam, Moth, and Beautifly, Dustox, Heracross, Vespiquen. Notably, I already have Combee and Vespiquen. I already have Fortress. So the last ones would be Wormadam, Mothim, Beautifly, Dustox, Heracross. Heracross I can see going for, but I'm going to go for just the Grass encounter to get Magnemite or Magneton or Manectric, because I would want a fast Electric type, because something may have happened to the one that I've been using. Anyways. And we got a Manectric. I'll take it. Notably, I probably shouldn't be leading with purple, but that's okay. Let me check the learn set of Manectric. Ugh, that took way too long. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Pavlova. It's a tannish yellow, I would describe it as. Sort of like Manectric's yellow mane, and it reminds me of Pavlov, which Manectric is a dog, Pavlov dog, you know? I feel like that's good. Mr. Fuego! Well, hello! It's not often I get a visitor here. I tried to make the ironworks run better with moving floor tiles, but no one is happy about it. They said the floor made them dizzy. Okay, thanks. Trade star pieces in for restart. Flamethrower, that's the main reason of coming here. Okay. With that, the last thing to do then is to make a team for Castle Valet Dirac. Alright, this is the team that Dirac has. It starts out with Gallade, Scope Lens with high crit moves, Expert Belt Magic Guard Alakazam, Metagross with Life Orb and Iron Fist, Citrus Berry, pretty good moves, and Entei, Sugar Berry to do ground type moves, and a Staraptor. Notably no item, but Reckless Bravebird is going to be very strong. I thought leading with Crobat would be pretty good. Fly takes it out just fine. There aren't really too many other Pokemon that I have that would be able to cleanly take out the Gallade. Technically Gyarados can, but any of my Ghost type Pokemon or Fairy type Pokemon are going to be special attacking most of the time, and Gallade just has really good special defense, so it isn't going to be taken out by like hardly any of those. So Crobat is the play. Then it'll say, hey, I want to send in a Pokemon with a super effective move, Psychic, Zen Headbutt, Ice Beam, Stone Edge all come to mind. Then it'll check for the type matchup versus me. This is Psychic, and single types will be Psychic, Psychic, which means this is times 2 times 2. This is times 1 times 2, and then times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. It should send in Alakazam against Crobat, which is actually really nice, because Crobat outspeeds with a Muscle Band, can Leech Life and KO the Alakazam. Great. Next, it should send in the Metagross, because that's the thing that has the next best type advantage with a super effective move. Here, it's going to want to Zen Headbutt almost assuredly. Slaking Choice Band would be able to take it out, and I do outspeed it. I would take a Zen Headbutt, outspeed, take out with an Earthquake. That is something to note. I don't know if that's the play. So all that's left is Entei, Staraptor, and Empoleon. It'll want to send in the Staraptor because it sees a close combat. If that's the case, man, Rotom here would do work. This is where the snowball effect comes in. If I didn't lose Rotom, this would be a great switch into the close combat, and I'd be able to even just outspeed and Thunderbolt it. But alas, I don't have that option anymore. Espeon does pretty well here. It swaps into a close combat, even on a crit is fine. And that's definitely what's going to happen if I use Slaking versus the Metagross. Staraptor comes in, close combat, and I can Power Gem. This is Expert Belt, but I don't need the Expert Belt. Espeon can take out the Staraptor just fine. And then all that's left is Entei and Empoleon. Notably, neither of them have moves that do super effective damage to me, so then it should just check each of these moves based on Staraptor's stats, and my guess is like Sacred Fire or Extreme Speed will do more than a Hydro Cannon, because Extreme Speed is stab, it's physical, so it probably will send in the Entei. Garchomp, I feel like, is probably the play. Notably, even if I don't have a Soft Sand, Earthquake will do 40% to get rid of the Sugar Berry, and then Earthquake again to be able to KO. And it's probably just going to Extreme Speed stuff. So I can put on a, Raspberry or whatever. If I do a Raspberry, I can prevent the burn from happening from Sacred Fire. It's probably the thing. So now I have Entei down, and then all that's left is here, and I can Earthquake KO this. Of course, if I'm burned, things can happen. But just these 4 Pokemon, if I have orders correct of Gallade, KO into Alakazam, KO into Metagross, swap KO into Staraptor, swap KO into Entei, swap KO, Empoleon KO. That should be the play, or that should be the game, and there aren't any missed crits. I have Muscle Band, Choice Band, Expert Belt, Raspberry, no duplicate items. All of this Pokemon needs to be level 50, export, import, okay. One issue that I see with my current strategy is on the turn of Slaking versus Staraptor, there is an 8.2% chance that it will Brave Bird. And if it does do that, then Espeon just dies. The way to get around Staraptor having a chance of Brave Birding is, I think, going to be about pivoting. So I will swap into Gamboge. If it even does Brave Bird, that's okay. Then it's going to guarantee Brave Bird against Gamboge, in which case I can swap into something like blue, so I can have a citrus on it to guarantee that I will only be in killing range of close combat. So something like citrus berry, export, import. So I will go from Slaking, swap into Gamboge. It'll take one of these, then it's guaranteed to go into a Brave Bird. I swap into here, then it should guarantee go for a close combat, swap into Espeon on a guaranteed close combat. Then I can Power Gem. Alright, that looks much better to me. Okay, Pal Park, a place for new beginnings. Hey Megadug, are you here to see Pal Park? It's wicked awesome! You get to catch rare Pokemon and the crowd cheers you on! Though apparently, you normally have to supply the Pokemon yourself. I didn't really understand it. I mean, what's a DS game card? Oh, there's something important people... What? There's something important looking... Ugh. There's some important looking people watching the catching shows. Why don't you take a look? Let's go up the stairs. I'm off to Canalave. Bye! Okay, I was a little worried that I would need a Pokemon with Surf, so thankfully I do have that. I was able to teach Empoleon Surf, and I didn't need all of its moves because I'm just using it for a pivot, but that is something to keep in mind, or something that's nice. Current record holder is Little Bank with 2,000 points. I do not care. Unless it gives me an item, and then I will care. Wow, well done. Oh, hello, who might you be? Ah, is that a Pokédex? You must be the young assistant that I've heard Professor Rowan talk about. So, Megadon, I'm very glad to meet you. My name is Professor Oak. Just like Professor Rowan, I'm also a Pokemon researcher, though I come from the Kanto region. You were close. The Pal Park is stunning, wouldn't you agree, Megadon? It has a special system that attracts every imaginable kind of Pokemon from every region. I came to make certain that system is operating properly, but I found myself rather enjoying the catching show's place here. You don't often get to see some of these exotic Pokemon species. Wonderful. Ah, it appears the catching show has ended. It was fun while it lasted. I plan to stay in the Sinnoh region for some time. Being here, I should make the best of my time studying the local Pokemon. You're welcome to visit my home in Eterna City if you like. Oh yes, do you see those two people over there by the window? You should get acquainted with them. They're experts at Pokemon battling. Okay, it was a pleasure to meet you. Bye now. The catching show. It's a head-on clash of will and wit between trainer and Pokemon. Okay, here we go. Good evenings. The catching show was very enjoyable, was it not? My name is Darak, and to my left is my employer, Lady Caitlin. As in, the Unova Elite Four? Caitlin? I can see it. This person is a trainer, yes? Yes, my lady, I believe so. Lady Caitlin is the owner of the Battle Castle, you see. You will find that she can be very taken by superlative battles. However, for a reason I'm not able to disclose, Lady Caitlin cannot battle you herself. Consequently, I partake in battle in her ladyship's place. Lady Caitlin would very much appreciate a viewing of a Pokemon battle. As such, I humbly request that you and I partake in one now. Let me assure you that you won't be shortchanged by facing me. On guard! Ooh. Gotta switch to this though. Alright, fly. Nice. Yep. So far, going to plan, but this is only turn 2. Alakazam does come out. That was expected. And I should just be able to leech life. Nice. Excellent planning so far. And hype music. Metagross. So far, my grasp of the AI has been on point. I'll swap into Almond. Zen Headbutt. Expected. And now, Earthquake. Nice. Took it out. And now Staraptor. So this is where the whole pivot comes into play. Go into Gamboge. And once again, if it goes for... It's most likely going to go for close combat here. But just in case it went for that 8% chance, then this is the play to do. So now, it'll say, hey, Brave Bird will almost certainly do the most damage. Well, it will certainly do the most damage against you. In which case, I will swap into blue. Here comes the Brave Bird. Okay, and it wasn't a crit, so I didn't need the Citrus Berry, but I'm glad I did it anyways. So now it'll say, hey, I'm gonna close combat you. And here I can swap into, not purple. I mean, purple would do okay, but wouldn't KO. White. Close combat. Guaranteed. Nice. And it wasn't a crit. And notably, you are at -2s at this point. So at this point, Power Gem will be able to KO. I didn't take into consideration the minuses of close combats, but either way, this should still work. So now it should go into Entei because it sees those physical moves doing more damage to me compared to the Empoleon. It does. Everything's going according to plan so far. In which case, I will swap into Saffron. And there's the Sacred Fire, as expected. It did not burn me. Granted, if it did, I would just have the Rostberry. And now I can just Earthquake. Notably, it didn't go for Extreme Speed, so it's either going for Sacred Fire or Iron Head. Iron Head is more likely, but Sacred Fire is still possible. It does use Iron Head. And so if it went for Sacred Fire, I would be protected from the burn through Rostberry, because it didn't get the burn on the first one. And Earthquake here, it now is going to use Extreme Speed. It was most likely going to use Extreme Speed. And this one should KO because it does not have a Rostberry. Ooh, feels good. I was feeling a little down in the dumps from losing Rotom because of poor planning. But everything here has gone all according to plan. I get to outspeed the Empoleon, and Earthquake will KO. Didn't need the crit, 111% minimum. Yes! Feeling much better now. $0! Ah! Bravo! My hat is off to you. I shall see to appeasing Lady Caitlin's displeasure at my loss. My lady, was this battle most enjoyable for you? Fight. My lady? Fight, 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 fight. Okay. The intensity of our fight must have stimulated her latent talent. Alas, she cannot control it. This is Caitlin, almost for sure, if she has psychic powers and such. I can switch to here. Do not fear. An offer of fresh tea should diffuse this situation. Fight, 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 fight. Thank you, Dada. Here's some tea for you. It is really divine. The flavor of this bedfish can quench the thirst of anyone in the world. We obtained the tea. Please come visit the Battle Frontier if you would. Look for us in the Battle Castle. Bye for now. Alright. Made it through, and the plan worked flawlessly. You can say I got lucky with no crits, but literally no crit would have mattered. I got maybe a little lucky with Saffron not getting burned, but I had a Rost Berry, and if it went for another burn, I still would have been able to KO the Entei. The only thing then would be I would need to do some stuff against the Empoleon, and specifically I could like swap into Slacking on an Ice Beam. I would be outside of crit range, and then Earthquake and kills. So everything, I had backups in case things went more wrong, but a lot of the things that could have gone wrong wouldn't have changed anything. We're just going straight into another rival fight against Lil Bang, which also has a level cap of 50. So I realized before going to actually fight the next rival fight, I need to get to the rival fight, which is in Canlave City. And before that, I need to go through Route 218, which has a couple of trainers, but also, notably, I did delay this encounter. Originally, you can Old Rod fish for a Magikarp, Finneon, or Staryu, but I decided to wait because some of the grass encounters seem pretty good. Notably, if I wanted to surf instead, I could also get a Tentacool or a Shellos. Both of them seem nice. Tentacool is surprisingly nice. But in the grass, we have Floatzel, which I already have. Gastrodon, which I could get through surf, but getting it through grass is also fine. 20% Gastrodon, 20% for Floatzel, which I already have, so it's out of 80% that I can get. Perugly might be falling off at this point, but having a Fake Out Mon is always nice, and Perugly is quite fast. Mr. Mime seems pretty nice. I think it might even be Fairy in this generation too, or in this ROM hack, because it's Fairy in the future. Electrode, Ditto, Electabuzz, and Chatot. So I think I am going to go for a grass encounter. Getting another electric type can be good in Electrode and Electabuzz, specifically Electabuzz. And Mr. Mime seems nice, Perugly seems nice, Chatot seems nice. my encounter for Route 218, an Electrode. I'll take it. My one issue, I realize right now, is can this explode? It cannot explode. Explosion is at level 39. So it should know Thunderbolt, Magnet Rise, Light Screen, Discharge. And Self-Destruct is at 24. So it's at the perfect level. There we go. I'm going for a pastel red. There we go. By the way, this is pastel with a modest nature, baby. Those are some pretty good stats, if I had to say so myself. It could have had soundproof, which I think I would have preferred over static, but I will definitely take the modest nature. This team building has been split across numerous days, numerous different recording sessions, just because of how my free time has worked out recently. So I'm going to just show the progress that I've made instead of try to edit what I have already done, because it would be tough to make like a nice cohesive storyline through it. The opponent has a team of Staraptor, lead Staraptor of Choice Band, so just very strong. Then Azumarill, huge power life orb, it's very hard. We got Citrus Berry, Iron Fist, and Fernape. We have a Focus Sash, Technician Breloom, Muscle Band Guts, Heracross, and finally a Thick Fat Leftovers Snorlax with Slack Off Curse. Can be quite annoying, especially if it does set up. The way I first started with this is just to see if Fortress would be able to set up spikes or anything to not need to worry about the Focus Sash. There's not really a good way of doing that, so instead I thought of ways of just being able to knock out the Staraptor. And the first one that I saw that could work is Lapras. Lapras does have enough speed with Timid Nature and really good IVs and EVs to be able to outspeed the Staraptor, and Ice Beam can KO it. This will, however, bring in the Breloom. The reason why it would bring in Breloom over the other ones that have super effective moves is this is super effective and regularly effective fire, super effective and regular effective bug, super effective, super effective. And so because we have two super effective types, it should swap into Breloom. And from here, my original thought was to go into Togekiss. If I hit a Force Palm, then I can Encore it, because it's most likely going to Force Palm, but it could also Spore. And so if it did Spore, I would put on a Chesto Berry, Encore it again anyways into Spore, and then swap into Empoleon, because Empoleon has Vital Spirit. And then I can Drill Peck, because it has a Focus Sash, I'll need to hit it at least twice. The main issue with that is I'm getting not consistent information about how Encore works in Platinum. The description of the move says 2 or 3 to 7 turns, but on Bulbapedia specifically it says in Platinum the move goes from 2 to 6 turns instead, and in Diamond and Pearl it goes from 4 to 8 turns or something like that. I've gotten mixed messages on how long Encore will work. I've done some testing on wild Pokemon, but that's not like a consistent thing. Like, just because I never saw it to do 2-turn Encore doesn't mean that it will not do 2-turn Encore. And if it ever stops the Encore before this goes, I am faster than it. So it would only ever need to be that exact 2-turn Encore of me Encore, it Spores, I swap into Empoleon, it force palms and then it ends, because then the drill pep won't be able to KO because it's still at full health. Force bomb can then KO me, yada yada, those sorts of things. So I wanted to find another line. The first thing that I saw was, instead of using Lapras, what if I used Jinx? The thing that I saw with Jinx is I still outspeed, I still KO with Ice Beam. However, this time, instead of bringing in Breloom, Mega Horn does a lot more damage than close combat, and so because these two are tied with type effectiveness, it'll choose the move that has the highest amount of damage, which should be Mega Horn. Luckily, I will be able to outspeed and KO anyways with Psychic. Then it'll send in the Infernape. And I had Garchomp here for the Infernape. However, it will either fake out close combat or Fire Blast, most likely close combat or fake out on the first turn. But since it sees a strong, like a one-hit KO move, I could see it just skipping the fake out altogether. And if I go into here on a close combat crit, that could be bad, so I would use Dusknoir as a pivot. If it does close combat or fake out, that's great. If it does Fire Blast anyways with a really low % chance, I still survive a crit, and then it'll either go Fire Blast or Thunder Punch. If I get crit, I could see me being in range of Thunder Punches, so then it would be 50-50. Going into Garchomp from a Fire Blast is totally fine. I can put on a Rost Berry in case I get burned, and then I just outspeed and Earthquake to KO it. Then, once that's down, Azu will come in. Empoleon does pretty well defensively wise, does very little from Ice Punch. And Octale Play Rough, I survive decently well. One thing I forgot about is in this generation, Cut was changed to Grass type. It's Grass type 60 base power. So Cut into Cut, after Life Orb damage, 2 Cuts plus 2 Life Orb hits should be able to take it out, which is very nice. If I do get, I think I will go for the Freeze Berry, just in case I do get frozen on there. I don't need the citrus. Even if they, like Octale or Play Rough, crit me, I'll be able to survive that just fine. So with this Jinx route, I take care of the Staraptor, take care of the Heracross, take care of the... So Staraptor and Heracross with Jinx, Infernape with Dusknoir and Garchomp, Azu with Empoleon, and now all that's left is the Snorlax and Breloom. Breloom will swap into here because it sees super effective Force Palm. Meganium, because it's Fairy type, does very well against it. Stone Edge is the highest thing. I EV trained it, or I would EV train it to have just a bit higher speed, and then put it all into physical bulk to help against this Breloom. And Moonblast can KO it, or I could do something like a Giga Drain into a Moonblast, those sorts of things. And all that's left then is Snorlax. Snorlax is an issue because Slack Off just is really annoying. Poliwrath does decently well with Low Kick being able to do most of its health, if not all of it. Oh, and if I actually leveled it up to level 50, Low Kick can just KO it. Granted, if it does, once again, go for that curse on the first turn, Low Kick will not be able to KO, but Body Slam won't be able to crit KO me, and I can just go for 2 Low Kicks. Alright, team has been made. I realize basically all of my Pokemon that I chose didn't have a specific item that they needed, so I put on a Focus Sash onto Jinx in case it needs to swap into like a Heracross. Like, that can be a thing I do. I swap into a move of Heracross, and then I can outspeed and KO it. Of course, then the next thing that comes out will use a random move. So, but I think because I don't need Never Melt Ice to KO the Staraptor, I don't need Expert Belt or anything to KO the Heracross. Focus Sash is fine. Also Gray, I just put a Citrus Berry on, and you'll notice a little trend here. Rost Berry for in case I get burned from the Infernape, Aspear Berry in case I get frozen from the Azumarill, and Chesto Berry in case I get put to sleep from the Breloom. And then Expert Belt on Cornflower to hit a bit better range on the Snorlax. Now that I got my moves and everything sorted, I should be good. Should happen here. Yep. Let me check I'm on the right scene. Team preview is good. Alright. Whoops. Hey, Megadeth. You're gonna challenge the gym leader past here, hey? Someone should check to see if you're ready for the challenge. That someone is me, with my brand new gym badge. Here we go. Alright, Staraptor. Against the Jinx. Once again, I can just Ice Beam and KO. There's that one down. Now it should send in Heracross, but I could see Infernape. Heracross, nice. Alright, so my thoughts of Megahorn doing the most damage is correct. I didn't know whether or not like 300% damage is different than 100% damage, because Close Combat against me does 150%, Megahorn does 300%, and so I could totally see it just saying, oh, this kills, let's just swap this in anyways. Either way, I outspeed and oh, fuck, Extrasensory. I didn't teach Extrasensory. I definitely just glazed over that I had Psychic instead of Extrasensory. I am going to Extrasensory. This has a 50% chance of KOing. If I don't, then I just go down to Focus Sash. I didn't get the 50%. Megahorn does hit. I also could have had it miss, but I will go down to Focus Sash. That is, I checked all of my moves and everything, and I just blew over that. I saw Psychic type, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's totally fine. Ugh. Whatever. Extrasensory again. That is unfortunate because now the Infernape that comes out will have totally random move. Hopefully it just goes for Close Combat or Fake Out. It's still a 50%. I'll go into Oslo Gray. Fake Out. Nice! Probably saw a priority move KOing, so it went for the priority move. Okay, so now it's going to Fire Blast, and I swap into Saffron. I didn't get burned, but I had the Rost Berry in case I did. Earthquake, I outspeed, I KO. There's that down. Now it should be Azumarill. Yes. And I am low enough that Play Rough or Ice Punch will come out because both of them have chances of KOing. Hopefully it's Ice Punch. So I'm gonna go into blue. It definitely can be Play Rough, however. This is definitely the scariest part. Ice Punch, okay. That's nice, that's nice. There's that little bit of Life Orb damage. And now I cut. Super effective. Does 40%-ish, so it should be in the yellows. And then Aqua Tail, totally fine. a little bit of Life Orb Chip, cut again. One thing I could have seen happen is Play Rough, I think, has chances of lowering my attack, in which case I would have just needed to possibly take a crit, which I still could have survived, so little things like that. Overall, I think blue definitely could have taken it. If I did get attack dropped or crit, then I would have been in range of Bullet Seed, but I don't think it ever would have done Bullet Seed unless I was really, really low. Either way, at this point, I go into Olive, and even if it does Bullet Seed or do anything, I'm totally fine. The only thing that I can see happening here is if it went for Spore and then Spore again. Oh, I also definitely should have gotten a Lum Berry on Olive, because that could have stopped a Force Bomb Paralysis and the Spore. In my original planning, I did have Lum Berry on Togekiss, but I forgot about that now. Luckily, I wasn't paralyzed here. There's still one more chance of me being paralyzed, however. Ooh, no, actually, it's just going to Stone Edge me, so no more chance of paralysis. But I definitely should have been Lum Berry for that exact situation. There's the Focus Sash. And honestly, I probably should have been Draining Kiss here, just to have a bit more health, because Draining Kiss and Moonblast does the same sort of thing. Alright. So 2 main errors. I didn't have Psychic, I had Extrasensory. Thankfully, Focus Sash allowed me that misplay. And I should have had Lum Berry on here, but I didn't get Haxed for that specific case. Now comes out the Snorlax, which I go into Cornflower. Does it curse? It does curse. Which is why I put on an Expert Belt, because Expert Belt still has chances of KOing with Low Kick now. And even if it doesn't KO, their Body Slam will not be able to KO me. And I get the roll. It was 56% chance, according to the counts. Nice. Okay. Pretty clean, but 2 points of errors, 1 point that could have been bad. With the Breloom and Meganium, if I did get paralyzed and then Stone Edge crit, I get full parried, things like that could have gone wrong. If that's the case, then I could have... Sorry, I should be reading. Anyways, you should go to Iron Island, toughen up some more Pokemon. Yeah, train at Iron Island. That's what I did before the gym. Okay, Iron Island. If I was paralyzed with Olive and then I got crit and such, I could have gone into Dusknoir and Will-O-Wisped. I think I have Will-O-Wisp still, or did I get rid of Will-O-Wisp? Sorry. I think I got rid of Will-O-Wisp and kept Fire Punch. Yeah. But Fire Punch would have done a ton of damage, so I could have gone into Oslo Gray against the Breloom. Oslo Gray could have done stuff, Saffron could have done stuff. So yeah, I did have different plays. I think I played pretty well. My prep was almost there. I would give it a 9 out of 10. But the next thing that I want to do is explore this town and then go on to Iron Island.